symbol was the ram. Astrologically, that is referring to the conjunction of the sun and moon as star seasons in the year or during the time of Aries. Right? The constellation Aries, which is I am, began with the sun in the sign of Aries 4,000 years ago and ended 2,000 years ago. Thus, during the time of Jesus was born, supposedly 2,000 years ago, right? And thus he was called the lamb, the ram. It represented also the month of April or spring, which is, called the Passover of Easter. All right, and Easter, as we know, comes from the Sumerian goddess named Ishtar. You know what I'm saying? And within your Bible, she's known as Esther. Within the ancient Kemetic text, she's known as Aset, same deity, queen of the heaven, as they call her. That they transformed the queen of heaven into a harlot. That's the whole story of Mary. Mary was the one, who was unadulterated, the mother of Mary, the virgin. While you had Mary the Magdalene, who's the harlot. You know what I'm saying? Same one, same being. That's actually the metaphysics of it, what it's talking about. One who was represented the higher nature and the one who represented the lower nature. All right? Right here, it says bara, which, bara, what I'm saying, in Hebrew means to create. Bara. Ba-ra, within Arabic, means to create. Ba, as we said, is the soul. Ra, as we know, is the sun. So the sun, soul, is the creator of all things. Well, hold on. Well, I tell you that the sun or this soul is within you, because, the sun is called soul law or soul of Ra. So where's this soul of Ra, soul law? Soul is located at in you. Is inside of your pineal gland, in which that you can see God anytime that you want to, once you begin to realize that you are God. Okay? This is the science. So right here, it says, he helped Ra travel through the underworld each night on the solar boat. We're talking about the pineal gland. The canoe, or the better yet, the ancient Kemetic Egyptians associated the ram's sheer force with raw sexual energy. And thus, canoe was linked to fertility. He was linked to fertility. Okay? Shukran, thanks. Thus, metaphysically, Kanum is birth, creation, and life itself. So that's when time came into existence, was when you was born. That's when you became Heru, was when you was born. You was born in Christ. Remember I told you earlier that metaphysically, that the sperm travels up through all 7 conscious centers called your chakras and become baptized. That is the abode of the initiation where it takes place at is inside of the 3rd ventricle. And receive instructions for 3 months. That's where you miss your 3 months at. 9 months you was born, the other 3 give you a whole year, 12-month cycle, 12-month season. Because for 3 months you was getting instructions by the Father himself who art in heaven, which is the pineal gland. Y'all get this? Yeah. Okay, all right, now we're gonna go deeper. All right? So right here, it mentions that he gave the power to procreate to female through what? Mitochondrial DNA. Remember I told you that Khan means serpent at the end of the word, Kuku Khan? You go back to the Mayans, go back to the Aztecs, the Incas, Khan meant serpent. Well, hold up. Mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondrial DNA is the DNA in which that gives you the ability within women to do what? To give birth, to manifest a unseen force to a seen world. Let's go deeper. It says meto is from the Greek word metos, which means warped threads. Warped threads, DNA is warped threads. DNA. All right. And chondra, or con, is from the Greek word chondron, which means grain or granular. And the moon is chondra within the ancient Vedic text. And guess what? The sperm is chondra in the ancient Vedic text. So, damn, that's a lot of con. And all of it is relating to the reproduction. So that means the sperm, in a sense, is symbolic to the serpent. The warped threads, in which that you call DNA, is symbolic to the serpent because it has the exact... My God. You know what I'm saying? To the same exact elliptical pattern of not just Sirius A and Sirius B, but also to the Kundalini energy. Because both of them goes up the spine in this elliptical pattern. So that means that those threads, guess what? DNA in its so-called naming, or what's called deoxyribonucleic acid. Within the ancient times, they was called the water dragons. In ancient times, they was called the water dragons. That's deep, because you see the dragon throughout all of the Orient. You see the dragon here in America from on the temples in Mexico, right? Well, all those dragons and serpents and all of these things and with the wings and all this is talking about your DNA and how those messages become open, Patah, Fatiha. And you are able to retrieve the coded messages from your ancestors and bring them to the forefront into your consciousness so that you can go forth and manifest and be a pure manifestation of those in which that came before you. Amen. So the science is that when you open up this information, you open up a can of whoop ass, number one, which he's afraid of, because that's actually what that is. You know what I'm saying? Number two, you open up the Akashic records. Remember in the movie, we talked about this last night, the movie, Queen of the Dead, her name was Akasha. And what was she playing? A vampire, which is symbolic to what? Hold on, you didn't see how she was slithering? What, we got to go through that? You didn't see how she was slithering? She was like, woo! What's up? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She was slithering because, y'all remember the dance back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Janet Jackson, Reba Jackson, you know, Snake, come on, man, come on. Come on, you know what I'm saying? It's telling you right there, the signs of who she represented was the DNA or the Kundalini energy in its what? Elliptical state, in which that is supposed to be open. Now, of course, in the movie, she passed this information on to this white boy. Because what they're telling you is that that's what we did for them, the Moors did for them in Europe. The Moors passed on this information to them, the Holy Kabbalah and all of this, and left them all this information, and we did. You know what I'm saying? We effed up. That God knows we did. but anyway, let me get back to this. All right, the Twites, or what is called the Twa or the Pygmies, call him Kanon. Check this out. This is what the Twa people call God. It's Kanon. Now that's deep because the Dogon tribe call him the exact same thing. No more. So this is throughout all of Africa, the signs of who this God was, in which that brought all things into existence. He's talking about your DNA. Okay? From all the way from the subatomic level to the atomic level to the molecular level to the cellular level, and thus you manifest now as I see you. From an unseen state to a seen state. Ain't that something? Right here, he's also called Num-Ra. Num-Ra. He was the serpent, supreme serpent god. Check this out. He's the god of the rainbow and of the 7 rays of the sun. In other words, like Samson's 7 locks. Samson, son, never mind. Anyway, the serpent and its 7 heads, which is talking about, you know what I'm saying, you go to the book of Revelation, it speaks about the serpent or the dragon with 7, 7 heads, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Rah, rah. And it speaks about right here, which is referring to the Kundalini. And if you go to your Bible, you know what I'm saying, Revelation, the 5th chapter. The first verse, it breaks down something real phenomenal. And it mentions, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within. And on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. Huh? Oh, got you. All right, and I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, this is deep, this is written